Hello, happy Thursday, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well today. Hello from a little smoky Calgary today, so it's not a bad day to be hanging out in my craft room where the air is fresh and clean and a lot better than outside. I got my diffuser going, so it smells really pretty in here. My name is Lori DeGroot. I'm from Lorita Marie Crafts, and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator. And I come live here on Thursdays so that I can share tips, techniques, ideas with you to hopefully get you inspired in your paper crafting and having some fun with it. This week, it is all about memory keeping and some simple scrapbooking. So I definitely used to be a hardcore scrapbooker, doing the full huge albums and stuff. And sometimes just time-wise, it's hard to get to those kinds of scrapbooks, or actually sometimes financially, just kind of printing all the pictures. And so I found some fun ways to kind of create some more simple albums for myself these days. So we're going to be focusing on some of the Memories and More card pack that is in the annual catalog. So I hope that we'll have fun with that today. I've got 3 different projects for you, so you're going to want to hang out for all 3 of those. And I just wanted to quickly mention that it is officially bonus days for July, so just don't forget about that. So you can earn in July and redeem in August. So what that means is for every $60 that you spend with Stampin' Up in July, you will get a $6 coupon that you can then use in August on whatever you like. So that's pretty exciting. So keep that in mind when you are shopping for your paper crafting supplies. And maybe I will be able to share how awesome actually the Memories and More kit is with you today. So let's get to our project for today, and let's just get with it. I'm having kind of a different day. My kids left for holidays today, so now my house is like kind of weirdly quiet for the summer. And yeah, it's gonna be, maybe I'll get a lot of work done in the next few weeks, or next week, but when they're gone. So let's get to our projects for today. So first, I wanted to show you in the catalog what the Memories and More kit is all about, right? So if you've got an actual Stampin' Up catalog, you can look on page 134 to 135, or if you go online, then you can just check out scrapbooking and then Memories and More in the menu there. And it's just like a simple offering. And because Stampin' Up is all about cards, right? And so, but we can take all this beautiful card making stuff and turn them into fun scrapbooks for our memories. So what they've got for us is a lovely little album, a 6x8 album here, which is craft and fits the 6x8 pages. And so you also can get a package of these cute little pocket pages. And so there's a variety of different, you've got like 4 pockets that have 3x4 in it, some that have a 4x6 and a couple 3x4s. It comes usually with one full 6x8, couple that are just 4x6s. And so today I'm going to show you a full 6x8 spread, we'll call it, and then one with the actual little pockets. And then I'm going to also show you a card, because you can also purchase card bases and envelopes. I don't have these at the moment, but they are designed to fit the Memories and More cards right onto the front, but you can also use these in your regular card making. So we're going to show you all of these different ideas today. So this is called, let's show you the cards here. This is called the Bright and Beautiful Memories and More card pack, because it goes with the Bright and Beautiful suite. So you'll recognize the colors, which are some of the fun brand new core colors, and the suite that has the birthday and the balloons and all that kind of fun stuff. So I'm going to go through and show you the cards kind of quickly here so you can kind of see. So they're double-sided and you get 2 of every single one. So you've got some that already have words on them, and you've got some that you can journal on or write on, put a little note on. And they're so fun. They're really fun standalone, but you can also think outside the box, and you can cut them up and you can do different things with them that way. So I'm going to show you some ideas with that as well. Way to go. And so they're really cute, right? I mean, you can't go wrong with all these fun new colors. Right? Fun times, good friends, great memories. So they've got some great sayings in here. And it's not necessarily just celebrations or just birthdays, right? It can be for any kind of memory keeping that you want. And if you don't want the hip hip hooray, well, you've always got the other side, which is you know, something kind of more neutral. So that's what's kind of fun about it there. So you get all these 3x4 size cards, and then it also comes with some 4x6 cards. So again, you get 2 each. You get less, but there are 2 of all of these as well. So again, you've got some just bold patterns that you can use as backgrounds, some that have spots for journaling, some that have some titles. Like you could even cut this one in half, and then you've got 2 cards. So lots of different ways that you can use these. And so if you were to purchase the card bases and envelopes, these would fit right on the front. You wouldn't even have to cut anything. They would just totally fit on the front. So you've got those fun cards to work with. And then you're going to get 4 sets of sticker sheets. So 2 of each kind. So you got 2 different ones here. So that's pretty fun too. Lots of choices. Okay, so let's get to our first one. So I'm going to start with a 6x8 card base. So I decided to go with Lost Lagoon here. And if you had DSP that you wanted, you could fit this on. Of course, if you've got the Bright and Beautiful DSP, you can work with that as well. But I'm going to just be using the Memories and More card pack. So first thing to do is maybe go through and you want to pick one of the patterns that you want to play with. So I'm going to use this striped one here. And we're just going to start building up our page. And so I want to create one other layer. So I've got another fun product that I want to share with you today that's part of the online exclusives, which are products that are not tied to any catalog, but you'll just find them online. And so they just added some new ones that came in, and there's lots of other things to choose from. And so this is one that has been out for a little bit, but I just got mine. And I'm so excited about them, and they're called Radiating Stitches dies. And so you get these 3 rectangles. So they cut out this fun rectangle shape, obviously with this cute stitching detail in it. So I'm going to show you what that looks like in a second here. So you've got that larger one, and then you've got 2 smaller ones. This would be great for like sentiments maybe. And then what I love and what I thought about using for scrapbooking is these 3 pieces. So they're going to be so great just to add a little bit of interest. So I'm going to show you all about those as well. So the first thing we're going to do is cut out our rectangle. So I'm going to need my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine here. So let's grab that. So platform 1, 2, 3. Then our piece of cardstock, and I'm using Lemon Molly. And then I'm going to use this largest die here. And then when you're doing something really straight, sometimes it's better to put it on an angle into your machine. That just seems to cut it a bit easier than going on that long straight edge. You can grab it just on that one corner. So you're going to love how cool this looks. Okay, so then see how it cuts out that perfect rectangle, and then I'm going to put to the camera if you can see it here, is all that great stitching detail. So cute. And so I thought this is the perfect thing to create a frame for a photo. And so I am just using these as my photos today. So it's just got, you see, like a little camera on it. But you can definitely get your pictures printed anywhere that you like to get your pictures printed. So a tip that I like to do for pocket scrapbooking, or even for regular scrapbooking, is to have different sizes. So not just your full 4x6. So of course you can take a 4x6 and cut it to a 3x4 size or whatever size you like. But you can also use, like, say you have one of those little Canon selfie printers, you can get it so it prints smaller photos. So let me just show you a couple of my kids here. So you could print them small like this, like little 2x3s, or you can print them 3x4s. You can also get photo apps like Project Life or something like that, where you can create a layout with different size, and then but it prints off as one 4x6. So that's kind of nice because you're only spending enough for one 4x6, but you get 2, maybe even 4 photos out of one 4x6. So this is a 3x4 size of a photo. Imagine it there. And so we're going to layer this up. So let's go ahead and put these onto our cardstock. So I'm just going to use my regular Stampin' Seal here, which is going to work great for your scrapbooking as well. And I'm going to kind of center it, but kind of push it to one side a little bit. Then we're going to take my cute little stitched rectangle here. And I'm just going to offset that a little bit as well. And then we're going to put our little photo here. So I can make this little mock-up, and then I can go back and print my pictures and choose just the perfect one. So then I want to add a little detail. So I want to cut out this cute little heart because he's so sweet. So let's grab our machine again, and then we'll grab our platform 1, 2, and 3 again. And I had little pieces of card stock here, so let's see where I ended up putting them. Some great secret place that I put them. I don't even know where I put them. Okay, this might work. So I've got bubble bath here. Yes, perfect. And we're going to cut this little guy out. All right. And then you've got this cute little heart. And I'm going to show you some other shapes too once we get to it. So then you can kind of just go through and find some coordinating products with these colors. So I've got this awesome Lost Lagoon ribbon, bordered ribbon. I haven't even been able to use it yet, and so I was excited to have it for some project here. It's so pretty. So I'm just going to grab some scissors here. There's no specific length. I'm just going to fold it in half like this, but it's about 5 inches. And then we're going to kind of loop it up here. And so maybe I'm just even going to use some glue dots. So you can put the back into a glue dot, and then you can put the inside, if that makes sense. So you can fold it up with the glue dot, and then you've got the one on the back that's going to stick it onto your project. And then I think I'm going to use dimensionals to put my little heart on. So yes, I am all about simple scrapbooking. Not big elaborate pages that are going to take me a really long time to put together, because then I'll never do it. I just know that. Or I'll get one page done and then that's all you've got done, right? So this is something easy that wouldn't take you very long to put together. And now you can go through all your smaller cards and maybe your sticker sheets, and then maybe you just pull off a sticker and put it on there, right? And you can add some fun things with your stickers. I thought this card here would be so much fun to just cut out every single sentiment on its own, and then you could have 6 different little sayings here. So I'm actually going to use my trimmer, and I want to use the Hello Lovely, because I think I might put on here a photo of my daughter. And see how you could just cut them all individually like that? Let's put that away. And then I think that's going to look so great down there. So I would just put a couple of dimensionals on this as well. And then put that on there. And then you've got a really cute 6x8 spread. You could add some gems. You know, I'm going to recommend my favorite gems of the moment. Tinsel Gems 4-pack. It's got all the colors that are in this Memories and More pack. So it's going to be perfect. You can add some gems onto that. And then you get one sleeve in your little pocket pack, or sometimes what I do is I just punch the holes right into the cardstock and have it loose. So that looks good too. So let's now make a little pocket. And then we're also going to make a really simple card. So let me just show you the pocket. So remember how I said there were different layouts and stuff? So this one has a 4x6 on the bottom and then two 3x4 pockets. And so we're just going to make three simple little designs that we can pop in here. So the first one, I'm going to go through my 3x4 cards, and I'm going to grab this one. And I'm going to add a small photo. And I keep moving my stuff on myself, and then I can't. There it is. So I've just cut this again. So this is just 2x3. So you can, like I said, use those photo apps and stuff, and you can get this printed, or use your little photo printers, like your selfie printers and stuff like that. So we're going to put this on there. And then I've gone ahead and cut out a couple of those circles. So remember, there's this large circle here. So that's what it looks like cut out. And then there's this little one here. So those are fun. And so we're going to add our little circles. And let's just go ahead. You know what? Maybe I'll just go ahead and use a photo. I do have one here. So this is my kids. So I think I'm going to go ahead and put this in here, because I'm convinced I'm going to use this. And so I think I'm going to put my photo next. And then we'll add this, just look it up. And then I think I'm going to use one of my stickers. So there's this one here that says, "Love this." And let's see, let's play around with this a bit. I'm just going to put it right down. It's a little blurry. Let's see if you can see that. There you go. So you could just add, right? So this is how I kind of pocket scrapbook. You add a couple details, add a little sticker, add your photo, and you're done. Easy. I could even write like Chloe and Caleb in the fall. Right? There's even a tiny little bit of room in there, and then that's just going to fit nicely inside of that. And so for this one, I wanted to show, like, you could just, again, you could even cut some cardstock. So this is just cut to the size of the pocket, so 3x4. And then you could get your little photo. You could get one that is already printed to 3x4, or you could obviously cut a 4x6 photo down, but then I would just cut it to a little bit smaller, and then I would just mat it on this piece of berry burst. And so if you want some cardstock to go along with this, actually here, let's cut this down while we're doing this. If you want some cardstock to go along with the bright and beautiful, I would suggest you get the Core Colors cardstock pack. So that's probably going to be only in this catalog. And then you're going to get a sample of all the new Core Colors. So you'll have all the colors that are in this Memories and More pack. So that's a great way to get all the colors without buying a full pack of every single color. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so I just cut this down by 1/4 of an inch. So now it's 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. And again, you could add a little sticker or something onto that. So let's go ahead, slip that in. And then we're going to do the bottom one. So for the bottom, you can pick one of the 4x6 cards. So I'm going to use this one. Then it's like a perfect background. You don't even have to do any cutting. It fits all by itself. And then I've chosen one of the smaller cards. So it's got the polka dots. And I'm just going to lay this on top. And then I've got berry burst again, and then I've got room for another photo. So this is a 3x4 photo, and so this is cut now 1/4 inch larger. So it's 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then we're just going to layer these on. So I've hardly needed a paper trimmer or anything fancy. I'm just kind of going with the sizes of everything. And I'll just put a little bit of adhesive on here, and then I can go back and grab a photo. I had some photos just kicking around, but not that many. And then I'm just going to angle it down like this. And then I've got another one of those cute little hearts. So again, this one's in blue, so it's their afternoon. You could also cut it right out of DSP or whatever you've got. And then let's say you've got some twine or something. So I've got the in color twine, the 2022 to 2024. So this is actually Tahitian Tide, but in a twine, it's very close to Azure Afternoon. So that's going to look good. It's the right kind of bright blue that we want. And so I'm just going to stick that in a glue dot and stick that on there. And then you could add some gems again. And then you're just going to slip that into your pocket. And then you've got this great, easy little spread here already. And then, of course, you've got the back. So you could add new cards, or you could put a picture right over that. Oh, see, let me show you how that would look. So I have another, here I've got a photo with some flowers on it. So you could put that right over, and then you wouldn't even have to do anything. So that's even more simple. So that's great. So that's our second little project. And then I just want to show you a really easy card. So like I said, there are card bases called the Bright and Beautiful. Actually, what are they called? Let's get you the right name. Yeah, Bright and Beautiful Memories and More cards and envelopes. So you get two sizes. So there's 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. So they will fit the 4 by 6s perfectly. And then there's also the smaller ones, right? So they are big enough to fit the 3 by 4 cards onto. So I'm just using a regular card base. So this is your standard 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored in half at 4 1/4. I got to get all my numbers right. And so I'm going to have to cut my piece a little bit. So this is one of the cards. And so it's 6 inches. So I'm just going to cut 1/4 inch. No, that's not right. I need it to be 5 1/4. So I'm going to cut it to 5 1/4. I'm confusing myself. But it's already 4 inches, right? So 4 by 5 1/4. So this is going to make a great background for a card. And so sometimes, you know, you don't have a lot of time to put a card together, or you just want to create a little stack of simple cards to have on hand. These card packs are going to be perfect for it. So then I just went through and I grabbed a couple more. And so I'm going to use this one. It's all the right colors. And then I thought that it would be really fun if we just fussy cut out this balloon. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to actually cut out the balloon. So don't be afraid with your card pack to just get in there and cut them up. They're actually such a great value. You could get 2 packs, and then you could have one that you could just go and cut things out with, and then you'd have one with all the whole sheets in there, and then that would work as well. But yeah, don't be afraid to get your scissors out and cut out the words, cut out the shapes. Use it in all sorts of different ways. Okay, so we're just gonna fussily cut that out. And then I was just gonna put this on like that with some dimensionals. I mean, really, that's like a 2-minute card. So I think I wanted it crooked. And I'll put some dimensionals on the back of the balloon. And then voila, we have a card. You'll see I didn't do any stamping today. Sometimes it's just fun to play paper. I was a scrapbooker before I was a card maker. So that's fun too. Easy. And then again, grab some gems. Grab your favorite tinsel gems and get them on there. There's another pack of tinsel gems that are going to go really well with this paper too. It has Lost Lagoon, Fresh Freesia, and Misty Moonlight. So it's got all the same colors. So you could get both packs. So you're going to have all the colors that you need to make some projects. So let's go back and show you. So we've got our simple card, our fun pocket layout. You've got an idea of how you can use all the different pockets. And then we've got one 6x8 layout there that you can use. All right, let me just bring you back up for a second. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you took the time to watch the replay, which I know most of you do, I really appreciate you watching the replay either here on Facebook or on YouTube or on my website, which is loritaMarieCrafts.ca. There you can find out ways to shop or contact me. And if you ever need help with anything, I would love to give you a hand. So I hope that you are inspired to go print some pictures and maybe put a little scrapbook album together. Maybe you have something fun that you did this summer, or like a little trip or a little celebration or something that's gone on in the last few years. Yes, and that's it for today. And I will be back next week with more fun projects for you. So until then, bye-bye.